Right, Heart of England Way, the penultimate leg, starting here in Longborough, outside the Coach and Horses pub. Got quite a long walk today. We're going to do a slight detour to see the site of the Battle of Stow. We are going to go to Stow in the Wold at some point, and I'm hoping that the pub will be open when we finish and we can go and get a pint. Hope you enjoy it. So there is the village shop, beautiful Cotswolds village, and this is the high street that we are just going to turn down, and we're heading down there. Ooh, getting my arms pulled out by these two, as you can see. Cannot walk in a straight line. It's always a bit tough when it's a bit of on lead walking to start with. Isn't this a lovely village? That is quite a village hall. There is our first Heart of England Way sign, and I can see some water just there. Dogs are going to love that. So we're joining up again with the Monarch's Way, as we have done previously. That's the epic, I think it's 618 miles, something like that, route following the escape of King Charles from the Roundheads. And we're just heading down this lane. Let's go. We just walk down this path. And the camera probably doesn't pick up how sort of dark it is on that little lane driveway up to somebody's house. I think that is. Anyway, as we get to this fork, we are taking the much narrower right hand bit. No, Danny, that's somebody's garden. Good boy. Not really any signs that I can see to tell you to go, oh, hold on a minute, there is. Yeah, down here. So it feels a little bit odd to be so close to the end of the Heart of England Way. This is going to be quite a long walk today. It's about 10 and a bit miles. I mean, it's not that long, but when the dogs run so much, it's fairly long for them. But we're looking forward to it. There's a couple of climbs. Probably going to stop and get a drink or coffee or something at I don't know why I said coffee, I don't drink coffee. A cool drink at Stow in the Wold. I think we might stop there for a little bit just to break the walk up. But we're really looking forward to it, and thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you've ever walked this route or if you're planning on walking it. Let's go this way. So as we come out of that little copsey wooded area, it sort of opens up, and it's lovely, and a very nicely mown path for us. It is a beautiful house. I'll find out what its name is and put it up on the screen. This lovely land that surrounds it. We've walked across the parkland. It's not exactly clear where we go. I think just under that young oak tree there's a gap in the fence. I think that's where we're going. Oh yes, the gap leads to that stile. Woo. Boys can fit through that gap, that'll be fine. Bailey, this way. Come on. Walked across this lovely open field, surrounded by all these great trees on either side. Now we're just going down that little path there. Heart of England Way actually carries on down there. This way is to the Battle of Stow monument. Oh no, I was wrong. The Heart of England Way goes up there And we're just going to do a bit of a detour this way up to the Battle of Stowe monument. Right, that looks like a footpath. Dogs are on the lead because I don't know if you can see there's sheep up there at the top of the field. So somewhere over there is the monument that we're looking for. So I did wonder at one point if we were following a sheep path or a footpath, but no, we've come to this little bridge. And then at the top of that hill, there is the monument. So we've walked across that field, uphill, and now we, oh, I didn't just about to see that one there, are at the Battle of Stowe monument. So the Battle of Stowe was the last battle of the First Civil War, with Astley's defeat of King Charles marks the end of the war. So in the spring of 1646, the King's remaining field armies were disbanded, but Charles was clinging to the hope of rescue by foreign forces. The Lord Astley was leading the King's army, and it halted, his march of his army halted just north of Stowe on the 21st of March, when a smaller parliamentarian army met them. They charged uphill, presumably to where we stood at Stowe, and then the parliamentarian army was thrown back, but then made a decisive attack on the right-hand flank, and the royalists fled down to Stowe Market, and at Stowe itself was the last battle of the Civil War. Whew. As you can see from the colour of my face, I am the same colour as my jumper, which I probably need to take off. We've been up the hill to the Stowe monument, but down again, and now we're back on the Heart of England way. So we came down that greenway there, just had to cross the A424, which there's plenty of gap in the traffic, but it is moving quite fast and a bit of a blind spot. And now we're going down this lane. It's a very nice lane we're walking along in this lovely stone, Cotswold stone wall. So this is Donnington Brewery. You can just see through there, there's a lake and some seats, and there's an honesty box you can buy some beer. If it had been a bit warmer, we probably would have stopped for a bit. There you can see, there's the sign. A few local pubs, I think owned by the brewery, so I wonder if the Coach and Horses is, which is where we're going to end up later on. So that is the River Dickler, or Dinkle, no, I'm sure it's Dickler. Just going to carry on up here. Been a few cars on this road, even though it's a little narrow country lane. It's obviously a shortcut to somewhere. So just round this corner we're going to get to the B4077, which we just need to walk along for a little bit to get into the village of Upper Swell, and then we'll be back on footpaths. So best try and keep these two lunatics under control. So we've made our way through Upper Slaughter. It's a bit tricky, there's no footpath. Not my favourite bit, even though it's a lovely village. But now, back on a footpath, and actually by the looks of it, if we just make our way, go on dogs, slowly this way. We are also on the Gloucestershire Way and the Donnington Way, which looks like a, a beer walk. Now out into those fields. What a lovely house at the back of Upper Swell. Ooh, towed by a Danny. This is much nicer than trying to walk along that road. What I can't see is if there's any sheep up ahead. And as Bailey has instant recall, and Danny does not, he's staying on his lead. He's just so strong. And just like that, we're going to leave the Gloucestershire Way, which goes to our left. Heart of England Way. So we go up there. These majestic trees are just starting to get the colours of early autumn. Looking to see these trees that have been planted here. presumably by whatever estate it is that we're walking through at the moment. Let's check where we are, because this is the most lovely estate. That building's actually a dovecot. Now, I'm going to say that's Luton's style. Isn't it picturesque with all the apples around it? Now this is Lady Something's Well, which Danny has discovered slicing water in. Bailey is drinking the muddy water. It's quite muddy. We're carrying on that path up there, up this driveway. So we're just coming off the drive with this gate and across there, which will take us just the distance you can see the top of the houses of Lower Slaughter. Behind all those trees is the very lovely St Mary's Church at the Heart of England Way. Apparently it takes us this way. Just walked up this beautiful street of Cotswold cottages, and then past the willow tree a little bit further up the road. So this one-way dead-end track is called Mill Lane. It's well signposted though. I don't know what this is called. It's unusual. I feel mean keeping him on the lead, but because I can't see what's in the fields ahead, I can't risk letting him off. God, he's so strong. How is something so small so strong? Danny, come here. Danny. Yeah. Right, you don't need to go swimming again. Oh, apparently we do. All right, that'll do, Bailey. So we've just crossed Coronation Meadow and we have come to Hyde Mill, where we will be leaving the Heart of England Way. We'll rejoin it here next time and carry on that way. We are going to make our way to Stow. Looks like we're going to join the Monarch's Way for a bit. This way. Bailey, come here. So this is the Unicorn Equestrian Centre. I think they do quite a lot of carriage driving here. Oh, in fact, you might just see there somebody, don't know if you saw that, but there was a pony and carriage just there. So we just made going our way past the various stable blocks. And I'm heading up here, and I think the A road into Stow's up here, which we have to cross shortly. Ooh, that was quite a steep climb up from Equestrian Centre. what a view. Oh, I am puffing now. So when you come off that footpath, you have to come up along the Fosse Way, and I would recommend crossing there because the traffic into Stowe sort of backs up and you can run across. Right, let's go and find a cafe in Stowe and get a drink. So this is Stowe Market Square. We're just going to head down that way. I can't see my two wearing that, even if it was a camouflage one. It is one of the most beautiful towns in the country, I would say. Look at that tree. So these are the wells where the residents of Stowe on the Wold used to have to come and get their water. I'm going to get the dog's water bowl for them, and Danny, don't fall in. Don't fall in, I'll get your water bowl. I think until something like the 20s or 30s, the residents had to... Bailey, no. The residents had to come and get their water here, or it was delivered on a water cart into town. So this is still technically on the Monarch's Way as we're leaving Stowe. And we will be going in a reasonably straight line until we reach the village of Broadwell. We're about 2/3 of the way into the walk, I think. A wonderful tree, all sort of twisted around itself. This is a lovely path. I wonder how old it is, like how many centuries of people have been walking ahead of us. What a fabulous tree. Just had to retrieve a dead pigeon that my two had found. I think they thought, well, they were very clever, which they just went back to retrieve. I need to throw it over the fence. So we're coming to the village of Broadwell. It's going to go up this way. There's the Fox Inn, which I think belongs to Donnington Brewery, which we passed earlier in the walk. So just making our way slowly uphill out of the village of Broadwell. And then I'm just going to take that little path there on the left. No, Danny, this side. Good boy. And we are still on Monarch's Way. What a beautiful house. That's my cup of tea. Right, this is the church of St Peter and St Paul. We're just going to walk round it and back down to the road. Beautiful churches on this walk. I mean, the Heart of England Way walk. There have been some really gorgeous ones. Oh, I just had to cross the Fosse Way again. Much better visibility this time, but still tricky. As you can hear behind me, there's cars whizzing along. So we're now walking towards the village of Donnington, and I think once we get through the village, we're back on footpaths, which will be nice. So we're in the village of Donnington. This is a lovely barn conversion, isn't it? No sign of these two getting tired yet. To say, my new trail shoes are definitely not as comfortable as I thought they might be. It's the second time I've worn them and definitely not great. A lovely sort of village green / orchard. And just in front of this house, which I will check the name of, we are going to take a right and follow the ha-ha around the front of the house. There's gorgeous views. That's why that house has been built there. playing football in the garden, so I don't really want to film the house, but as you can imagine, it's a very smart house. Right, through that gate. There is a gate there, but I'm fairly certain we're just going straight this way through that gate. Some cows down there, but they are keeping me out of the way. Oh, views. This is the Cotswolds. This is a very nice path through this bit of woodland. So we've only got just over a kilometre until we get back to Longborough. It's taken us a little bit longer, probably because we stopped in Stowe and had a nice pastry. I mean, nice is an understatement, that fabulous croissant. And obviously stopping to film a little bit just slows things down. But so essentially that means that we're not going to stop at the Coach and Horses pub for a drink because it's the final of the Women's Rugby World Cup this afternoon, so I'd like to get back and watch that. So thank you very much for watching. As you can see, it's been a walk of beautiful views, a little bit more road work than I would have liked. Hold on, dog's just about to get tangled. There we go. A little bit more road work in places than I would have liked, but some beautiful villages again. Stowe on the Wold is a lovely place to visit, obviously a bit touristy, but really lovely place to visit. Again, really enjoyable, and we've only got one more leg to go, and then Heart of England Way will be completed. Thanks very much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Right, we've rejoined the out route, so it's back down this track and then back into Longborough, down the high street, back to the car. Bailey's taking a well-earned cooling off dip to finish the walk. And he's not quite so brave.